Hello and welcome to the Blackberries podcast. So
Raven.
we're in a spooky ass basement where my daughter lives, and so I guess we'll talk about some spooky shit. So you've only lived here like how long? A month?
Yeah.
And what has happened in that month that you've been here?
Nothing really. I mean, I had set like a charger on the table and it moved on its own. But the other night I did see something behind the bedroom door. We had it open because we keep the lamp on in the living room. And Nick was putting our daughter to bed. And when he was like, you know, paying attention to her, I was like laying in bed and I like happened to look over because it looked like there was like a shadow. And sometimes I do think I just see things because I'm half blind. Um, and I'm also scared of the dark. But when I turned and looked, it moved away. Like it was like looking like something was peeking out behind the door, and then when I turned to look, it went like that.
Oh,
And I remember telling him, I started laughing, and it wasn't because I was trying to scare him or to be funny, but I was nervous. And I told him, I think you need to get back in the bed. And yeah.
flashlight.
And then I guess was he told me last night around 4 a.m. he had changed her and went to put her back in her swaddle, which is buttons, and it's not an easy button up mechanism.
Yeah.
Most of it was buttoned. It was like buttoned halfway to most of the way closed. And you have to unbutton all the way to get her out of it.
So the buttons were undone, and neither one of you did undo the buttons.
Redid them.
Redid them.
Yeah. No, I was asleep.
No, fuck that.
He took the 4 o'clock feeding by himself, so.
Okay, that's crazy. So that was a little tour of the spooky basement we're in. If anybody actually fucking watches. So, I was thinking about what we were going to talk about because we're in this spot, so I'm like, spooky makes sense. But I can't think of anything spooky. I mean, so I
Just tell them everything you told me growing up.
but I think we've already done an episode of some of that, haven't we?
I don't know, maybe.
I mean, did I tell you about
No.
what? Come over here, you can say hi.
Hey.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Okay, so when you were a young lady,
I'm a young lady now.
I mean, you were a little girl,
Okay.
right? So your biological father, his family used to come and visit us quite often from about the time you were born till you were about 3 years old.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of got to know his sister, his oldest sister, and what is it? Something touched your back?
Yeah.
Shut up. Don't start.
Something touched my
Okay,
back.
go over there.
Yeah, thank you, please.
Okay, you stay over there so I can see you, because I'm not trying to fucking Chucky, Freddy, whatever. Randy, just stay over there. Somebody's walking on the floor. Great.
Tell me why I held you back.
So that just happened. Okay. So I was talking about it would be your aunt. And she and I were having a conversation one day. And she said that I can't remember how old she was, but she had her own apartment and she was like with her boyfriend at the time. And she had fallen asleep on the couch. And then they were actually, they had actually made plans to go out. And so she had fallen asleep. And so she's woken up and there's this old woman standing there, a woman she'd never seen before. And she was dressed in traditional native stuff. So like, Jesus Christ. I can't take much more of this. My God.
Yeah, it's not that big video.
You didn't see what I
You just about died. That's it.
Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, she's woken up by this old woman. And the old woman, like, so your aunt is like laying there looking at her, and the old woman starts beckoning her. And so your aunt sits up and she starts putting on her shoes. And at the same moment, are you okay? Oh my God, that was terrible. Any kind of negative thoughts I had earlier, they're gone. They're officially scared the piss out of me.
You might want to like give a little bit of context about what you just saw.
So Raven's boyfriend decides to put on the nun mask and just kind of linger his head over the opening to this basement. And I looked up and I screamed because fuck that. So, gosh darn it, I got distracted. Anyway, her dad is there for some reason. Like her dad is at the same apartment. And when she's getting up to leave to go with this old woman, her dad, maybe it wasn't her dad, maybe it was the boyfriend, somebody told her not to go. So she was kind of like in a trance because the spirit thing was trying to lure her out. And essentially, what happens is if she had gotten up to go with the spirit, they would have found her body somewhere a few days later because when the spirits, for whatever reason, so it was just the old woman that the woman your aunt saw, but when her dad or whoever told her, what happens is that they will grab you and run with you. I mean, but it's so fast that your head snaps back. And so they'll find your body somewhere days later.
You actually did tell me that. I remember.
See, I kind of figured I did. But yeah, and then like, did I tell you about the time that? Because then she also told me the story about him, Robert, when he was younger. They were on the reservation, and I want to say it was a Blackfeet reservation, but it could have been one in Wyoming. That he was out with his friends and his older brother, and they came across like a box, and something about the box looked appealing to them, so they went to open it, and this thing jumped out.
No.
Like it was a little creature, and it jumped out and chased them. But yeah, like I was like, what the fuck? Like, who says that? Because the thing about
Who says that?
oh,
You?
Oh.
Yes, all the childhood trauma.
Hey. I'm just traumatized, and I'm an adult now. But so there was a lot of weird stuff that happened when they were around, but I never like. Did I witness it? I don't remember if I witnessed it, but I remember one time I had went to jail for like, yes, I've been to jail. So I went to jail, but I went to the transition center or the pre-release.
Yeah.
And I left you with your father, and he stayed at our apartment with you and his brother. And the brother, was he upstairs or downstairs? Anyway, at some point, something in the apartment started calling out to him while he was asleep. And I'm like, how? Because nothing like that happened when we were there, or like when I was there. I mean, things happen, but I feel like people bring stuff.
I was gonna say, do you think it's because there was bad energy from them?
I would say so, for sure, because I remember, I think I had told you this previously in another episode. Certain people in my life thought Robert just had no soul. There was something really dark about him. And the events that were explained to me, in my thoughts were they were like extreme situations, like these spirits coming to basically kill them. Where being raised the way I was, that wasn't really a thing. Like you got punished. I'm not going to say anything so where I'm at, but they're usually, is it benevolent? That's good.
Yeah.
I think they're benevolent for the most part. Um, but with them, it was kind of like this dark, scary, spooky shit. I guess my stuff is spooky too, but I wasn't afraid growing up of these things. As I say that, I'm like, you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Because yes, you were. Um, so, I mean, but anyway, yeah, I do think that they did bring certain elements around them besides just people that were wicked. Um, and then I think there was something else. And when Robert was at our home, something about the radio coming on by itself. And then that's all I can really remember about them. But it was just interesting because, I mean, he was a very dark individual. And I do think that people invite that kind of stuff around. Um, but yeah, like that was the story because that's still creepy. That with the old lady, I actually wrote a story, kind of like that story, using that story
Based on
based on
based on a true story.
yeah. It's a short story called "This Old House," and I have it. I think it's on Wattpad. I don't even know where the fuck I published it, but yeah, something similar, very similar to that, but I expanded on it and made it just as creepy, I guess. And then, like, where I live right now, um, when I first moved in, so all the appliances in my apartment were brand new. They still had tape on them, some wrapping and stuff. And I used the washer and dryer, and it's stacked, so they're connected. And I was taking some my clothes out of the washing part and I'm sticking them into the dryer, and I pulled out a duplicate pair of my underwear, like identical, and I've never bought identical underwear. You know what I mean? And so I was like, why do I? And they were two different sizes. And I was like, I can't fit these on. My ass is huge. There's no fucking way these are mine. And then I pulled out a camisole, and I was like, I don't wear camisoles. And then so the first thing I was like, asked your younger brother, did you have someone in our apartment? And he's like, no. And I was like, are you sure? And I remember posting it on Facebook, and I was like, either there's a really skinny lady living in the walls, or this shit's fucking haunted. Because I found two pieces of clothing which I know were not mine. Like I don't know where these two pieces of clothing came from. And of course, people were like, well, things get stuck in the agitator. I was like, it's a brand new washing machine. Nobody's used it prior to me.
Yeah.
So that was great. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then if you go, yeah, there's something I'm pretty sure in the laundry room. There's something there
There's something there.
because you can feel like you're being watched, like something's staring. And I don't know if anybody actually died in the building. So the weird thing is that my relative actually owned that building several years ago, and he died. But I don't think he died in the building.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's him. but I do think there's something there. I call him Randy. I don't know if Randy's bad or good. He hasn't done anything, but you can feel him or her or them. It. Like like I've had my bedroom door open or shut. I don't know. It moved on its own anyway. And it was scary. Like I literally start crying because I was like, fuck that. I don't need this happening right now. But it did. It could be a figment of my imagination. But I don't go out of my way trying to find ghosts.
You say as you look around.
All right, so introduce yourself.
I'm Bella.
Okay, Bella's my niece. She's just hanging out with me tonight. So, were you scared coming down here?
Maybe just like a little bit.
A little bit.
Like, but I kind of felt worse because at my grandparents, like, so there's this hallway at my grandparents, like, it leads to my grandparents' room, and if it's dark and nobody's in that hallway, you feel like somebody's touching your back, and like, you feel somebody breathing, and you feel like somebody's watching you, and it's creepy.
In the hallway to like the back room that doesn't have any heat.
Like, do you know, like,
I used to sleep in that room.
no, not that room.
The other way?
Yes, like to my grandparents' room. It's like
Oh.
if it's just me, my grandpa, and he's in his room, I don't feel anything. But if he's not in his room, he's not there, and everybody else is in a whole different section of the house, I feel like somebody's watching me.
No, I'm good. So when I stayed there, and if you're hearing this, any of you, it's a true thing. It happened. So there's I saw a face in the wall. Like, because I think you probably don't understand what paneling is. In that back room, it's that brown paneling.
Hold on, you've seen it before too?
There's a face. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like right away. Because I stayed there for a couple of months,
Yeah.
and then one day or evening or whatever, I just happened to be like lying in bed, and I think my light was on or my TV was on. There was light in the room, and I looked over and you could see it. There was like, and it was ugly. It's not like it was human-like, but I would say more of a creature face.
Yeah, because one time Dance was gone, and Dance's room is that room. And I was just laying on his floor doing nothing, and I started looking around, and I saw this weird face, and like you described it, but it was a little bit different. It wasn't super human-like, but it was decently human-like.
Because it had like eyes and a mouth,
Yeah.
but there was something like distorted about it, like I guess the pattern in the wood grain, but it made a face, so maybe that's what I saw. But I'm pretty sure that pattern wasn't there previously.
No, because so when after you left, my grandpa kept that as like a storage room, and he used to have me grab some stuff out of it, and I always used to look up at the ceiling because there were like writing on the ceiling. And one time when I went back there, because my grandpa was in his room, and I saw there was no writing on the ceiling, and it was like I was like that's weird because like I think that colored on the ceiling.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder if grandpa. And I asked my grandpa, and he's like, no, I did not do anything like that. He's like, I don't even mess. I don't even go very often. And I was like, oh, and that really scared me. And then the next day, I went back in there, and then the writing was back, and it was like really weird.
Okay, so we're gonna freak ourselves out because that's what we do. Any other stories that you can think of that you want to talk about?
Here's one. I think we talked about this in another episode, but I don't remember. I remember mentioning it, but I don't think I told the whole story. So when I took my trip to Italy last year, I stayed in an Airbnb in Rome, the first few nights that I was there. And I remember I remember sending you like a few videos of my little like very tiny apartment that I stayed in. And when I got in there, do you remember? Maybe you don't, um, because it was super small, but like there was like a mirror that went from the floor to the ceiling,
Mhm.
and it was kind of long. And I, for some reason, didn't know or to think that that was a closet. But the night that I got there and checked in, I only had like maybe 40 minutes before I had to go to my dinner reservation. So I didn't really pay attention. And I remember getting back sort of late and falling asleep on the bed, which was positioned right in front of this tall glass mirror. Um, and I remember I FaceTimed you because I was scared. And it was like, what, 2 a.m. there, but it was only like 7 p.m. here or something like that. And when I had woken up at 2 a.m., I don't know if you get the same sensation like when you sleep somewhere that's not your home. When you wake up at any point, you're a little confused because you're used to going to sleep in your own bed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a little discombobulated, but I turned over and the mirror had moved. And then it looked like, and then I realized it was a closet. But when I was, the entire time I was in there, excuse me, before I went to bed, it was flush with the wall. So that's why I didn't know that it was a closet. But then at 2 a.m., it had opened a little bit. Um, and it scared me because I don't know, like, having the closet door open is just scary. I don't know if there's like folklore behind that. I'm sure there is that like stays in my head, but
Yes.
it's creepy. And
Yes, it
so
is.
I'm like laying there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm petrified. And because I'm there by myself, there's no one
Right.
that's gonna save me. And I get up and I go to close it, and it like something kind of like, I don't want to say rips it because that sounds like really aggressive, but takes it out of my hand and opens the door.
No.
Yes, yes, I have it on video.
Uh-uh.
And I remember calling you, and I was so freaking scared.
Stop. No. What was that?
What was what?
Oh,
Oh, well, that scared me for a second. It sounded like a dog, and I was like, oh my god.
Um,
I'm fine.
okay.
so anyway, I remember FaceTiming you because I was scared and we talked or whatever, and eventually I got to sleep. And at some point during the day, the next morning or whenever, when the daylight had come out, I was brave enough to open the closet because I wanted to see what was inside it. And I remember like telling you they had like a big framed picture of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. And that was so weird because a few days before my flight there, I was like looking to download movies and I wanted to download some of my favorite Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movies.
Mhm.
And I ended up not doing it or whatever for whatever reason, but like the synchronicity in that alone makes me think
Yeah.
it wasn't like a bad spirit. It was just letting me know that I was meant to be there. Like maybe I was meant to take that vacation and have fun. So
I just keep on seeing. Okay. I just keep on.
is there something behind that door?
No, no, there's not. There is not. Let's not do this to each other. There's nothing there.
Okay, I know like we've been having fun, but I'm being so
I know.
Yeah,
that's
it
what's-
looks like it.
No, no.
If
Nothing
it is,
there.
there's a chance it's like a person or something, because that door goes outside.
Right, that door's not open. Is it?
So,
I don't know. Here, let me check.
No, I think there is someone there. Is Nick fucking with us? Oh, I can't. I can't.
No, I stop because you're scaring me, but I'm actually being for real.
it does look like somebody's out there. It looks like there's.
Oh no.
Hold on! There's something moving. Stop! Oh my god!
My bladder can't. My bladder can't take this.
Oh my
Okay, let's just.
Stop looking. Okay, there is somebody.
Okay, we're good.
Oh my god, who is that? They're opening the thing.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, there's other people. There's other people that live in this building.
Oh, who's your boyfriend name? What's his name?
Nick.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh.
I see a
okay.
shirt. See a shirt.
Oh,
That scared me.
I'm going to church tonight. I can't with scary stories no more. That was enough.
I think my story wasn't that scary. I mean, the closet door being open.
I got some heart palpitations and okay. Okay, so because she's a child, we probably should tone it down a bit.
I'm fine. I can. I've lasted living at my grandparents while I feel like there's something touching me in the hallway.
Okay, so I probably told the story of the what was it, the lady? So I used to live in an apartment complex. It's like low income housing here in Great Falls.
Mhm.
And I was in elementary school. My best friend, so the unit I lived in is just like 4 or 5 apartments in one unit, and they all just go like that. It's, and then she lived behind me, and then her aunt lived in front of me. And so we all got to know each other. So I got to know my best friends, cousins, whatever. And we're all pretty copacetic. And so I think it was in the summer because my friend comes over. She's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the res for whatever reason." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Who's all going?" And she's like, "Me, blah blah." And I remember her saying specifically her aunt Phyllis, who lived in front of me. And so they left the same day, and I think it was the next night. I was outside playing in the front, and the way my apartment was, so it sat like here, and then we were, I think, in the middle. So there was a door here, that door, and then these other apartments. Anyway, Phyllis's apartment was closer to the end on the other side, so she was the second apartment in, and you can see her bedroom window from where I was, and clear as day. And I remember for whatever reason, I started looking up towards her window, and I saw who I thought was Phyllis walking back and forth in the window. And the weird thing about it was like, it's a silhouette, right? She's walking back and forth, just like pacing, but she's wearing pigtails. And at this time, she had to be in her maybe 20s, maybe 30s. So I thought it was weird for an adult woman to wear pigtails. I mean, 2 on each side. It wasn't braided, it was just like pigtails you stick on a little girl. And I thought that was weird, and it stuck in my head. And so when my friend came back and I said, "Did your Aunt Phyllis go with you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "No, she didn't, because she was in our apartment." She's like, "No, she wasn't. She was with me." So nobody was in that apartment when I saw Phyllis. Yeah.
Do you remember when we lived over on 9th in those apartments?
Yeah.
And there was that house next to it where that empty lot is now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I don't remember who you said it or if you knew, but there was like speculation that like a devil worshiper lived there.
Yes.
And I remember one night we were in Steve's car, and me and Daniel obviously were like in the back seat or whatever, and we were driving. But what's that street that's going up the one way, like right around the corner from that lot?
It is First Avenue. Right?
Oh, south. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were on First, getting ready to turn on 9th because I think he was taking us home, and it was dark out. And I remember the top bedroom in that home had a light on, and all you could see was the person's shadow, and they were dancing. And then I remember you saying like that's not a good sign when spirits dance because you didn't think it was a person that was up there.
Oh, hell no.
You don't remember that?
No.
I remember that because it stuck with me because you brought it up again when we watched Insidious for like one of the first few times.
Insidious, fuck Insidious, that damn thing.
Well, like remember when they moved to the second house,
Yes.
and then there's like a dancing boy spirit,
Yeah.
and you said it's not a good thing.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry that I did that to you because I don't remember that at all. Was that the house empty? Is that why?
I think so. Yeah, it
Nobody
was
lived in it?
like I don't remember.
So I look that apartment building we lived in. My friend Mary lived below us, and so Mary, um, I think she's passed on now. So I can't remember. So I'm not going to tell this in great detail because it's a memory, but it's not a great memory. So Mary was into tarot cards and stuff like that. And I remember she couldn't wear a collared shirt. Like she always cut the collar. And it was always missing on her shirts and it was kind of low. And me being young and dumb, right? Like I think I was pregnant with you when she told me the story. And so that house that was right next to an apartment building, the house is no longer there. So there was a man named Travis. And Travis is actually, I'm pretty familiar with Travis because he was actually friends with your grandpa. Or was he? Yes, he was. And then um, Travis and his then girlfriend wound up in a relationship together. So, little backstory: Travis and I met one night on a Halloween because I was hanging out with my brother and his then girlfriend, and we all went out, I guess, to party or whatever. And I think some of us dressed up like Kiss, the members of Kiss. And this Travis guy didn't put on anything, but he had like black eyeliner on, and just that little bit of black eyeliner made him really kind of creepy. It was really weird, and I remember thinking that I'm like, that's all he has on is black eyeliner, and he was creepy. And he's a tall, skinny guy, kind of had long dark hair, but like really sunken in cheeks. And I'm pretty sure he was a drug addict. But at that time, because I was like 17 when I think I met him, or maybe 16. Anyway, so that's my memory of Travis. So then later on, Travis and my brother's then girlfriend wind up in a relationship together. But prior to that, so we go back to my friend Mary that lives below us. Mary's an older woman. So like her daughter and I are the same age.
Mhm.
So me and Mary become friends and I get to know something about her. And then I finally find out about why she doesn't have a collar. And I thought it was more, again, in my nativity, it was because it's a sexual thing. But it wasn't. It's because somebody had grabbed her and tried to choke her. So she can't have that against her neck. It's traumatizing, right? To feel like that. So I found out that house is where this happened because she's always been into the supernatural or spiritual or whatever you want to call it. Travis, the same Travis that was friends with my brother, supposedly is a devil worshiper. And Travis attacked Mary and he tried to choke her because he wanted her to be his witch. And I think the words that were said was something about "you're going to be my black witch," and I think he tried to kill her. Yeah. So I mean, that's all I really have of that. So if anyone else, because I vaguely remember it. I remember because I said something about Travis to her one time as a dumb joke, and I remember how upset it got her. And I think it was after the fact that she told me about what happened. And I only knew Travis because of my older. So yeah, that house had some shit, had some history. So maybe that's why I said what I said because of knowing that Travis. I don't know if he lived there, but I think if he didn't, he was there a lot. The way that my friend Mary made it sound, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen over the years, more so when I was a kid, like because my dad always said kids see things because they're not tainted yet. Like they're not given the idea that seeing something that's not supposed to be there is a bad thing.
Yeah.
And so when I was a child, I used to be, I guess, pretty in tune to certain things. I saw ghosts, not just spirits, but ghosts. And like I remember my first real memory of, well, maybe not. maybe there was something else when I was younger, but anyway, we went up to the res, and we went to my aunt and uncle's all the time, so it wasn't anything new. And this particular day, they lived in a trailer, and I probably have told you the story, but they lived in a trailer, and I headed right inside because I was always happy to see them. And I went through the kitchen and I made my way to the back room. So there was a bedroom right off the kitchen. I believe there was a bathroom, and then my aunt and uncle's room. And so I made my way because my aunt was standing in the back bedroom. And when I passed that first bedroom, I looked over and I remember seeing two people in that room. They were both old people. The guy was sat next to the bed. There was an old woman on the bed. When I get down to my aunt, which is 3 seconds later, she hugs me or whatever. And I said, well, who's in Yvette's room? That's her daughter's room. And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, well, there's an old guy and an old woman in there. And she looks at me and she goes, no, there isn't. She's like, there's one person in that room. There's not two. And I said, yes, there's a woman on the bed. So it freaked her the fuck out. And I remember she was like, no, no, you didn't see that, da 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 da. And I got scared because I thought I was a liar or whatever the hell. So later she tells my dad, and my dad said, she probably did see what she saw. He's like, you can't be mad at her because she can see something that you can't. But it was upsetting to her because the old woman was dead. She had been dead. But the old guy was alive. So his wife was on that bed, his dead wife, who had been dead way before I even got there. Not that same day, but like years. So, yeah. But anyway, huh? Stop. You need to stop. Don't. No. Don't.
I saw something going.
No, you didn't. You
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
You did not.
You were talking, that's why I was looking at that. I can see it in the camera.
Okay. So a happy story. Let's do a happy story.
No.
Why? I'm freaked out. I used to. Oh, fucking asshole. So as I mentioned, what's that?
Is it okay, Britney Spears?
um,
Oops, I did.
so I mentioned in the last video, which I gotta upload still. We're doing a scavenger hunt. So I'm gonna give a clue as to when the scavenger hunt is gonna start. And we're probably looking at December is what we're gonna do. So I'll give the first clue as to where one of the prizes is. There are 10 spots around Great Falls. And if you listen or watch the podcast, then you'll have clues for each location. And so it's monetary. Okay, so yeah, so you'll have the opportunity to find actual cash or a gift card, or you might find a dirty sock, depending on how we feel about it. So again, there'll be 10 spots that you'll need to go through. So I will definitely, okay, because we're slacking on this, I ain't gonna lie. I will give the first hint as to where uh, one of the prize, or what is it? Not prize. It is prize.
Yeah.
One of the prizes are. So whoever's listening, watching,
Did you already hide them?
not yet. I will. I'm just letting you know now, wonderful viewer, listener person, you have the chance to go find some cash money or a dirty sock. Or maybe some condoms. No, that costs money.
Not if you go to like.
No, I could get them for free. I know a guy. I do. So yeah, I'll do that next time. So tune in for the first clue for the first prize. So that was a happy thing. That helped my anxiety.
Even if I said there's so many.
What? You need to stop. You need to
You're the
stop.
immediate, like jumping immediately to being scared.
I'm like on high alert. I'm like, oh,
So because there is something back there.
you need to stop. Hi. Are you okay?
Kind
Okay. Do you have anything else to add to?
of staying down.
Okay. No, she's saying.
Um, I'm excited for the Christmas stroll.
Really?
Yes, that used to be like my favorite thing to do.
No,
as a,
you're not.
as a teenager, anyway. Do they still do the parade of lights?
They do. They do. I haven't been to one in a while.
Okay, so based on your reaction, the Christmas stroll is not.
In my opinion, and I'm not a professional by any means, I think it's went down. The quality of it has went down.
Would you say that about a lot of things?
I mean, yes and no. It's hard for me to say because there's only certain things that I actually go and do in town. Like the farmers market, I'm all about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't go to the state fair anymore. I mean, I don't ride, and it's expensive. And then I go to like the 4th of July parade, which is okay. It's for Great Falls. I mean, it is what it is. Um, so a lot of the events though that they have, I mean, people can go onto Facebook or wherever to find that information, depending on what you like. But as far as the Christmas stroll, which is something I do go to each year regardless, I think it's went down. Last year I wasn't impressed with it. Did I even go last year?
You just said that. Okay.
You know what? I can't remember.
The Christmas stroll last year, did you go on?
I don't know. Did
I
I?
don't
I don't know.
think you did.
Anyway, um, but yeah, you know, because I'm like an idea person, and I'm like, why don't they set up like a Christmas village down at the fairgrounds? They have all that space. Make little homes with Santa Claus and elves and shit like that for people to go look at.
That would be cool.
That would be right.
They had something like that when I lived in Alabama. In Tuscaloosa, they like different foundations and businesses and charities would decorate Christmas trees and they line them up the park for people to walk through.
See, that would be cool. I mean, they do lighting downtown and stuff, but it's, you know, living here, it's almost the same stuff all the time. And during the summer, they have like those, they used to have a Live at 5 where they'd,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, but they don't do that anymore. Now it's something else. But they do like block parties and stuff where they have live music. And I don't go to that because crowds and the music is not my scene. But yeah, I don't know. I it ugh. It couldn't hurt to go check out the Christmas stroll if you wanted to go check it out. Obviously, that's up to you.
Well, that's the only thing I was really looking forward to. So.
Yeah, I mean, it might be better this year because we're getting different things. Different people are moving in. Like we have food trucks now where we didn't. They used to be illegal.
Really?
I believe so. I like it was like illegal to have them. Like you can't just have a food truck park downtown and sell food in Great Falls. But now you can. So I think the pandemic changed
You're like looking around like you're expecting something.
that. I know your significant other spouse person is freaking me out. Oh, see,
One.
because there's a shit. See,
You see your leg is shaking.
I know. Stop. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you for watching.
I'm saying, come on, wrap it up. I'm
Thank
saying
you for
things.
watching, listening. Peace out.
Bye. Peace and love. Peace and love.